Hey guys, so today's video was actually inspired by just one day I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw like so many beautiful eye looks and I was like, wow, I wish you could do a cut crease. And I can't. And that's okay. So I was just like kind of like beating myself up. But then I kind of like went on my page and I started looking through stuff and I was like, man, I really do like a mean base. Like my skin is always on point. Like my makeup for my skin, it's always on point. So I noticed that I did a lot of like no makeup and that's my thing. That's what I do. So then it led me to think and kind of like remember those times when I was a model and when I was on set. And just like, you know, that's how crazy my mind is. It just kind of goes. It never stops. But anyway, this intro is going to be 5 minutes long. Anyway, so I was thinking about like when I was on set, you know, as a model. And I remember the makeup that they did on me in 99% of the time. Like they never like baked in or did cut creases or like anything like that. It was just so different. So that's kind of what inspired me to do this video, is how I really, you know, had my makeup done most of my life. If you go to like, say like a Sephora or a MAC or whatever beauty counter it may be, the makeup that you will get there and the makeup that a editorial or commercial makeup artist would do on you, it's completely different. So that's what kind of inspired me to do this video. This is the kind of makeup that I really had done on me most of my life because I modeled for it so long. Aside from the brows and the lips, everything is just really what, you know, like an everyday standard, you know, like when you're there to start shooting, that's what they would do to you. So that's what inspired me to just get on camera and say, hey, why not film something that I actually am good at it instead of fighting and, you know, trying to be someone that I'm not, because I don't think I'll ever be able to do a cut crease and it's okay. So I'm not gonna ramble anymore. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. And now if you want to see this, I don't even know what this is, supermodel, celebrity, natural glowy skin, just keep watching. So jumping right in, I want to start by priming my face using the DERMALOGICA Hydra Blur Primer. If you've been here a while, you know this is my favorite primer of all time. It is a pore filling primer, so it will blur out, you know, any little imperfections that you may have. I like to apply this on top of maybe I have a blemish or just like, you know, a scar or something like that. It really fills it in. It makes it like an even surface. So everything that you put on top will look more flawless. So I'm gonna be mixing a few products here, and this is the one thing I remember when I was on set. I remember makeup artists is just mixing and making their own concoctions. And, you know, I remember asking a lot of times like, oh, what lipstick am I wearing? And because I really like it, I want to go buy it. And it'd be like, oh girl, it's like 5 different lipsticks. I just mix them all together. You know, it's just like that. You know, makeup artists, that's what they do. They look at you and they analyze you and just, they customize things for you. So that's what you have to learn, you know, how to do it for yourself. You have to customize. You have to use things that are the most flattering for yourself, you know. So I know it's like a drag to like, oh, I have to mix 2 foundations. Like, I get it. But when I do it, I look so good. And I'm like, all right, maybe that's the key, you know. So these are the things that made me kind of realize that I have to take the extra steps sometimes if I want to look my best, per se. So these are 3 things that I'm going to be mixing today. 2 are from the Charlotte Tilbury brand. So one is the Healthy Glow All Year Hydrating Summer Tint Moisturizer. So this is just a plain tinted moisturizer. And it does kind of, when you rub it on your skin, it comes out white and then you start to blend it in and it's a little dark. And it's kind of like scary because I don't want to put that all over my face. Maybe if I was just a little bit tanner, but it does work. It works. I don't know. There's some magic in here. It works. And then the other one is the Wonder Glow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash. So this is basically like a unicorn kind of makeup. Like you can do whatever you want with this. It's just like a highlighter, but not so intense. You can mix this with your foundation, or you can do it, just apply it on top of your, you know, on the highest points of your face to just give you that little like glow. It's subtle, but it's just efficient, you know. And or you can just use it as a primer if you like, and you can do so much with it. So I'm gonna be mixing these two, and then I'm gonna be mixing with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Perfector Blurry Skin Tint. I know what you might thinking, like, oh, why 2 skin tints? It's just because of the shade thing. Like, this is a little bit too dark for me. It works, but it's a little bit too dark because it's winter. So I'm gonna be mixing a little bit of this and making a whole concoction, and I'm going to apply this with my fingers. This is another thing that I learned that was very, very important. The warmth of your hands are so, there's nothing, no sponge, no beauty blender, no brush in the world that will have the same effect as your fingers. So if you can, take the extra effort, make the extra effort, and you know, I know it's a little bit like, oh, I don't want to get my fingers dirty. I get it. But it makes a world of a difference. Trust me. So as you can see, this just gave me like a nice glow. I'm obviously going to bring it down to my neck because it's still a little bit dark, but it's okay. I want to be like bronzy a little bit. But as you can see, it's just like really a beautiful glow. It's just, you can see my skin. It's not like I'm wearing foundation or anything like that. It's just a very flattering coverage in a way. So, and I still have some left on the back of my hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down, and I'm just gonna very gently pat my sponge, just like to make sure there's no marks, you know, because when you use your fingers, there's always like little streaks and whatnot. So just to make sure everything is super even, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, dab the sponge very gently all over my face. So now I'm gonna start with the first, you know, layer of highlighter, and I'm gonna use a liquid highlighter. And this product is, it's so beautiful. It is one of those things that I have seen around on Instagram like a million times. And whenever I see something like so many times, I kind of like stay away from it. I'm just like, oh, everybody's using it. I don't want to use it. So it took me a while to get into this product. But once I start using it, I never not use it. Every single time I do my makeup, this is under any other highlighter, or sometimes pretty much just alone. That's how I use it, because it makes your skin so, it kind of looks wet. It's, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, it's not like a powdery, obviously it's not a powder, but it doesn't look, there's no like texture. It's just like, it's beautiful. So let me stop rambling and put this on. So this is the Iconic London Liquid Illuminator, and this is in the shade Original. I usually put this on, you know, the highest points of my skin. So on my cheekbones, I do a lot on my nose. You don't have to if you don't like a nose highlight. And I do a very little bit on like my temples in that area, like on my forehead. And I also do my chin. I really hope you guys can see this effect, because let me get a little closer. Hold up. Do you see this? It is so beautiful on the skin. It's just the most beaming thing I've ever put on my skin without being, it's so flawless. Like you don't see marks, nothing. It's just, it's insane. I am obsessed with this product. And I always like to put right here, like in between my eyes, because I feel like it just gives the whole thing like a crazy wet beaming look. So I like to be super glowy, obviously. You don't have to go that far if you don't like to. Just pull back a little bit if you're a little, if this is too much for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and do some contouring. I love using this Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer as contour. It's just, the formula is really nice and it's really easy. I always have this in my go-to-go bag, and it's just easy. So this is in the shade Baked. So guess what? I thought my camera was filming and she wasn't. But all I did was contour my face, just basic regular contouring. I have a very in-depth highlight and contour video. I can put a little pop-up here for you if you like to really go in depth. Just check that video out. But all I did was contour. I only have this side left to blend. So I'm just blending that contour, the matte bronzer rather, just with a, you know, dual fiber brush. Nothing major. So that's all I did. My whole face. I did my jawline. I did my nose a little bit and my forehead, and that's it. Moving on to concealer. I'm going to do a little bit of concealing on my eyes and on blemishes that I have. So I'm going to use two different products because this one right here is very, very close to my skin tone. I don't want to highlight or put something lighter on my pimple. I want something that is my skin tone to hide it. So this is what this one is for, and I like the formula. This is the COLOURPOP No Filter Concealer. I'm in the shade Medium 22, if you're wondering. And then I'm going to use my Tint HYDRALUX Concealer, which is my everyday concealer now. I'm in the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to do that on my under eyes. But the main key is, again, very little. You add a little bit and you blend, and then you see, and then you go from there. That is the key. Add if you have to, but just start small so you don't pile up in a bunch of makeup on your skin that's just so nice and fresh. That's not what you want right now. So just little by little you go from there. If you need more coverage, then you apply a little bit more and you blend a little bit more, because remember, I am not going to set my face with powder. I will my under eyes, but not my entire face. So again, I'm just going to use my finger and try not to swipe. Tap. Tapping is the secret. So just tap it onto the, spots that you need, like if you have a pimple or a scar or something. Tap the concealer. Don't swipe. And I don't like to use a sponge for this because I don't want to suck in any of the product with the sponge. I want to leave it because I applied so little. So I want to use my fingers for this, for sure. So for my under eyes, I'm going to go very little. I love this concealer because it's lightweight, but it's high coverage. So look for something like that. That's very efficient and it's going to work for you. I don't really recommend really thick, heavy concealers, period, for the under eyes. But I know sometimes we need the coverage and all, but I try to stay away from those because, like I said, I'm going to lightly set my under eyes, very lightly. So I need something that kind of sets on its own and it doesn't crease like crazy throughout the day. So this one is really, really one of my favorites right now. So try to look for something like that. It's lightweight, but also high coverage. And first I go with my fingers to warm up the product, and then I use the sponge. So right now, like if I look down, I see my bags, of course, a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more, but not too much. So this is how you should do. You should always look down and then see where you need it instead of swiping all over the place. And I'm going to go ahead and blend it again. Now to set my under eyes lightly, I'm going to use the COVERGIRL VITALIST Healthy Powder. I have been using this every day. It's a really nice powder. It doesn't add a lot to the skin, like a lot of coverage, even though it's, these kind of powders, a compact powder. But it doesn't give you flashback. You can use a loose powder if you like, but this one is really nice. It just kind of adds on a little bit, but still it doesn't make the skin powdery and heavy or anything like that. Another one I really like is the MAC. This is called the Water Weight Powder, and it's like this. It has like half and half. I don't know if you can see. So there's two tones to them, to it. And I always use the lighter one on my under eyes, and then the darker one on the rest of my face if I need a little bit of powder throughout the day. So I just take it like this on the brush, and I don't swipe it. I just kind of tap where I know it's going to crease the most. So no swiping, tap. Tap is a magic word. See, so that's it. Nothing else got mixed up. The powder didn't take away of any of my highlight or anything like that. It's just on my under eyes. Very, very focused on my under eyes. So now I'm going to move on and do a little bit of blush. And I know cream blush can be intimidating. I was intimidated when I first started. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just like, I don't want to be stuck with a bunch of, blush and I don't know what to do. But when you're working with a lot of creams, it's so much easier to just kind of blend away and blend it off and blend it together than to, you know, when you're working with powder. It's really much easier. So just practice a little bit and don't be intimidated. And also, you know, go slow. I mean, start slow and then go from there. So I'm gonna use this as one of my favorites. It's for Makeup Forever, number 315. I love the shade. It's very flattering. Find something that's flattering for you. And this one is matte. There's no shimmers or nothing. It's just matte cream blush. So I put a little bit on my finger just to warm up the product. And I'm gonna tap right on the apple of my cheek. So see, like right there. So I put it right there. And I'm not gonna blend it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and use whatever's left on my finger on this side and do the same thing. Just like that. And that's all I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use any more than that. Whatever's left on my finger, I'm wiping on my sponge and then I just tap it. You can use your finger for this as well. I have really long nails now, so I don't want to give marks on my skin, but that's it. There's no secret. Just blend it upwards towards your contour. Very gentle little taps. And that's it. You got cream blush. So easy. So the skin is pretty much done. I'm gonna add some setting spray afterwards, but this is it. That's all I'm gonna do to my skin. I'm gonna move on and do a little something on my eyes. Nothing crazy. Obviously you customize whatever you want. You can do whatever you desire that day. But today I'm gonna do something very efficient and simple that I have learned. I always have a brown, very dark brown eyeliner, and I like this one from MAC. This is called the Modern Twist Liner, and it's in long espresso. It's very, very dark. I like to tightline my eyes. I don't like to tightline my eyes, but I like the effect that it gives me. It really tickles my eyelids so bad, and I hate doing it, but I promise you it makes a world of a difference, because I'm not gonna add any, you know, false lashes or anything like that. You could, but for me today, I'm not going to. So I want to kind of intensify my eyes in a different way, not just rely on mascara, because I don't have super long fluffy lashes, so I need a little bit of help. So I like to tight line up here, and it's really weird, and it tickles so bad, and I hate it. Woo! All right, let me get closer to see if you guys can see the difference once I stop crying. Okay. Can you see the difference? Can you tell the difference? This eye is like a little bit more fuller, and like maybe like, I don't know, it gives a little depth to the eyes. I think so. So this is all I did. Just in there, go in there, not on the outside, inside. So now I'm going to take something that's very shimmery. I mean, not shimmery, but something that it's like one of those magical kind of eyeshadows. And I found this one in the FRIENDCATION palette from Those of Colors, Desi and Katie collab. And it's the really pretty sparkly one. What is it called? Just a Kiss. This one right here. So it's not glittery or like heavy shimmer. It's literally just a kiss of something on your eye. So make sure there's no creasing. Obviously we didn't add anything to it, but I did go over with my sponge that had a little bit of concealer on it. So that's all. I'm not gonna do any primer or nothing like that. I'm gonna dab my finger in there and just gently place this. Okay, so I'm coming closer here. You can see just a little bit. So I just really took a little brush and I'm just tapping this right there. So when I move, you know, it gives a little something like, oh, what is that? Like a little, like I have a sparkle in my eye. Now another thing that's very, very important, especially when you're not using false lashes, if you can, and if you like, and if you want to, curl your lashes, because it really, it's halfway, it's half the battle that you win when your lashes are nice and curled up. They already look fuller and your eyes are lifted. So if you can, and if you like, curl your lashes. See the difference? No curl, curl. I'm gonna go ahead and apply lots of mascara on top. Try not to get a lumpy kind of mascara. Like, you don't want your lashes to be all clumped up. You want them to be nice and fluffy and separated. So I'm gonna use the Dalton Illegal Eyes mascara. It's a really, really nice mascara. But I'm gonna do a lot on top and very light on the bottom, because I don't want to weigh down my eyes and have any shadow down here, like, you know, in the darkness. So I'm gonna do lots of mascara on top and a light coat on the bottom. Now to finalize everything, I'm gonna do my lips, and I really have been loving this combo. I do WHIRL lip liner in Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. This gloss is so beautiful. It really is everything that everybody talks about. It's so beautiful and shiny and like luscious. It just makes you feel super, I don't know, sexy. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section if you will be trying this look. Maybe. I really love when someone leaves me a comment and say like, hey, I think I can do that. And I'm like, you can, I promise. Just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of time. But it really makes me so happy when I can inspire someone to just try something new. So let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you like this video, if you found it helpful, and if you learned something new, please give me a thumbs up and share with your friends and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.